IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do, well, with the Habit Coach Podcast. Did you know that the number one question I get asked all the time is about anger management? So many listeners keep asking me about how do I control my anger? How to stop feeling angry? When I get angry, I say things I don't mean. How can I stop hurting people with this anger? And I find it absolutely fascinating how so many people are facing the same kind of issue around a simple emotion. An emotion that is so basic and fundamental to human behavior that it's been there for, God knows, millenniums. Yet no one really teaches us what to do with it. How do we use it? How not to become a slave to it. I like to see anger as a tool to be used, not as a master to be obeyed. Anger can also be an early warning signal for you that something's off. And this episode was inspired by a video that I saw of Swami Sachidanand. And he was a very popular Indian guru in America during the whole hippie era. He even actually gave a talk at Woodstock. So Sachidananda describes anger as an emotion that arose from reality being mismatched from your expectations of that reality. You wanted something to act in a particular way. You wanted somebody to act in a particular way, but they did not. Anger is triggered. You believe that things should happen in this one particular way, but they do not. Anger is triggered. Let's break it down further. There are two components here. The first is having an expectation about the way life is supposed to be, or the way someone is supposed to behave. It starts with that expectation. That means if there are no expectations, there is no anger. You can't be angry with a little baby because there are no expectations from it. How can you expect anything from it? Similarly, if we can begin to drop or reduce our expectations from things around us, anger will dissolve. Secondly, there's always someone or something that did not behave as it was supposed to. Do we have control over how other people will behave? They're going to do what they're going to do. And we are just stuck here with this stupid expectation. Now, anger was a very important emotion when we were cavemen or during those early years of war and unrest that were taking place, because anger was a tool used to fight. Fight against a lion that was trying to end your life. Fight against an enemy trying to pillage your village. Back then, the external force was trying to destroy our life, and hence anger made us fight. In today's safe environment, nothing is really trying to end our life or our way of life. But we still see it as a threat to that expectation we had, and hence anger is unleashed. As your habit coach, I want you to realize that all your anger comes only from your expectations. The more expectations you have, the more you will suffer with anger. The more you will make people around you suffer with anger. And for all of you who are constantly angry, realize it's only because you're constantly creating expectations and seeing the world as it should be and not as it is. So your super simple habit to stop triggering anger is to catch yourself creating an expectation about something. When you form a habit of not expecting, anger cannot enter your life. Be angry for the things that really matter in life, not at very small, tiny expectations that are not fulfilled. What is the point of getting angry at a waiter in a coffee shop for getting your order wrong, or a spouse for forgetting to wash the dishes? None of this is life-threatening, and yet we use anger. What a waste of this essential tool. Now, if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am at Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. We have a brand new habit coaching online course, quizzes, videos, and a lot more on the website awesome180.com. So check it out now.
Hello, everybody. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. Varta Lab is back with its 4th season. Join Akash Mehta and Naveen Narona as they talk to a range of guests with funny and insightful anecdotes. Don't miss their first episode with actor Vishal Malhotra. On Future-Proofing, Eklavya is joined by Dr. Pawan Rane. They discuss the role of the metaverse in healthcare. On Simplified, the hosts discuss how technical breakthroughs will help the viewing experience of the upcoming FIFA World Cup. On Cyrus Says, Cyrus talks to actor Sunny Kaushal. They talk about his early days in theatre, his breakthrough performances, and belonging to a film family. And on the Musafir story, solo traveler Ayush gives us a glimpse of the hill town Kannur and his famous toy train. I'd like to remind you all about our merchandise once again. We got some amazing stuff out there with more coming soon, but go to the IVM Podcast website and check out our collection of t-shirts. You have to click on the shop tab and we'll take you to our partner Grow 91's website. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Hey, you want somebody to talk to your shows about, right? So talk to them about them. Also, don't forget to rate us on any platforms you're listening to us on, and remember, you can check us out on YouTube. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, Bode Lifestyle, Small Case, Capgemini, and Intel vPro. Thank you so much for making this possible.
Ladies, I'm sure you will relate to it if I say that we are constantly busy with work, studies, cooking, and what not. And amidst all of this, we often forget an important element that needs our desperate attention: finance. So here we are, bringing to you SBI Life presents A Sip of Finance, a women-exclusive podcast where we will teach you how to manage personal finances in a simple and straightforward way with your host, Priyanka Acharya, a finance expert who's been in the industry for 14 plus years. And not just in English, but in 7 more languages. So tune in every Tuesday for fresh episodes on the IVM Podcast Network and all major podcast streaming platforms.